Okay.
Okay. So what do you want me to say? Okay.
I just want you to say who you are.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
That's right. Okay. The name, of course, is Bill Murray.
I think he's a little.
What do you think?
Just a little shade.
Shut
Bill
it off. I'm
Murray.
gonna go pound on
Okay,
it.
Bill, U.S. Marines.
Yeah, right. U.S. Marine.
Yeah,
Standard attention, baby.
Vietnam.
Right. I'm the chairman of this
What
movie.
year were you in?
64, 65.
Attaboy.
Okay? You were a boot.
That's right.
Okay?
A boot is right.
Okay.
This is one of my friends.
Yeah, yes, this is one of your friends. You're darn right. And I'm the chairman of the Chicago Moving Wall Committee.
Very good.
What else you want to know? Past president, 3rd Marine Division Association.
Attaboy.
What else you want to know?
That's all.
That's all?
Thank
Is that
you.
enough? Your
Okay.
tape's going to run out.
Thank
okay?
you. In Olive Park at the memorial site of Milton Olive, who received the Congressional Medal of Honor posthumously in 1966.
Right through.
Excuse me.
Take care.
Take that hill.
Take that hill. I got the ammo.
Man, I knew you'd like this skyline. Maybe you could draw it. But this is gorgeous. It's even prettier in person. I wish you could have been here, hon, but you didn't get off work early enough. I'm now filming above the wall. That's the John Hancock building, the Sears Tower is on our left here. As I'm panning around, you won't see it, it's in the trees, or maybe you can, right behind that light there. Isn't that beautiful, hon, that scenery? And then we're back here panning. This is the wall. $50,000 names on 52,000 names. That is a lot of names. We got Channel 5, Channel 7. See the non-veterans. NAM, N-A-M, Nancy, NAM, giving assistance. People generally sitting around waiting for the onslaught of people who will be here pretty soon.
I remember.
Let me get your patch too. One of my fellow Cav guys. That a boy. Okay.
See now.
Volume.
Yeah. More?
A little more, yeah.
As Britsmall and Festival travel around this beautiful country of ours, we frequently look up on a flagpole to see a tattered American flag fly. We want to ask each of you to help us by removing tattered American flags and replacing them with perfect American flags in honor of those who have fought and died for this country.
O'clock news with Ron Majors and Carol Marine, John Coleman with Butler, and Mark G. and Greco with sports. The Channel 5 News at 10.
Good evening. Carol is off tonight. Former National Security Advisor John Poindexter testified again today that President Reagan knew nothing about the diversion to the Contras of the profits from the Iran arms deal. Yesterday, Mr. Reagan was pleased by similar testimony. Today, not as pleased. Steve Handelsman reports from Washington.
There was no crowing today by President Reagan. Even though his former National Security Advisor, John Poindexter, finally had said publicly he never told Mr. Reagan about the Iran-Contra diversion, the president had basically no comment. Through his spokesman, Mr. Reagan put out the word he was upset at Poindexter for not letting him make the diversion decision. It was, says the spokesman, a disservice. And as the former Reagan advisor continued testifying today, one committee member said he doesn't believe Poindexter.
It does not carry any credibility with me that he made this kind of a decision on his own and kept this type of decision from the President of the United States.
At the witness table, Poindexter was saying that while President Reagan didn't know about the diversion, he did know what else his staff was doing secretly after Congress banned U.S. aid to the Nicaraguan rebels.
He understood that the Contras were being supported and that we were involved in generally in coordinating the effort. The only thing I admit to, Mr. Lyman, is withholding information from the Congress. I have not said that we weren't helping the Contras. We clearly were helping the Contras. But
many members are finding that admission shocking.
No matter what laws we pass, and no matter how we word those laws, if high officials of the executive branch come before the legislative branch and deliberately and repeatedly lie and make misstatements, we are not going to be able to have an effectively functioning democratic government.
Attention in the hearings is now shifting to the apparently clumsy way the whole affair spilled out. Some call it cover-up. The key witness is Attorney General Edwin Meese, and he's scheduled next. In Washington, this is Steve Handelsman, Channel 5 News.
Poindexter will be back before the investigating committee tomorrow morning. And although you saw this graphic that says indicted on the previous story, Admiral Poindexter certainly was not indicted, but Lynn Nofziger is about to be. And that'll be another jolt for President Reagan tomorrow. A special prosecutor will announce the indictment of this former White House aide, Lynn Nofziger. A grand jury has moved to indict him, charging he asked for White House help in getting an Army contract for the Wedtech Corporation. Wedtech is a New York machinery company under investigation. The indictment against Nofziger makes 14 current or former public officials and business people to be charged in this Wedtech scandal. And the perjury trial of former White House aide Michael Deaver is postponed until mid-October while lawyers appeal a ruling that jury selection must be open to the public. Deaver is charged with 5 counts of lying to a grand jury and a congressional committee investigating a lobbying business he set up after he left the White House. Deaver is the first person to be tried under the Ethics in Government Act. 6 American servicemen are dead tonight after a U.S. military helicopter crashed about 113 miles east of San Salvador. The servicemen were bound for a Salvadoran military training center to aid a U.S. advisor who was accidentally wounded by gunfire. The helicopter reportedly went down because of bad weather just 7 minutes after it left the capital. One of those killed was the deputy commander of the U.S. military group attached to the American embassy in San Salvador. 1 passenger survived. This now makes 12 servicemen have been killed in El Salvador since the war between the U.S.-backed government and the leftist guerrillas began there in 1979. 3 suspects in jail tonight after being charged yesterday in a murder-for-hire scheme. Blue Island police officer Ronald Tellez is accused of being hired for $3,000 to kill George Archer Mueller back in March of 1986. The murder occurred at the Mueller & Sons vending machine company in Blue Island. Tellez, allegedly hired by Mueller's wife, Connie Mueller. She's charged with setting up the murder, along with her ex-husband, Joseph Henke.
I think it's quite obvious that she was married to him. Maybe she wanted his money or whatever. She took what she had and then she killed him.
Tellez reportedly bragged that he committed 2 other murders in Franklin Park and South Bend. Authorities are investigating that claim. ComEd back before the Illinois Commerce Commission today and got bad news. Remember that big rate hike they wanted? Almost a 10% rate increase. In return, a promise for a 5-year rate freeze. Well, it was turned down. It means the new rates would have been $660 million a year for the power company. While ComEd was trying to convince the commission it was needed, the commission today just did not agree.
Maybe it was our fault for not doing a better job of describing what the plan was. Maybe it's their fault for not doing a better job of understanding.
ComEd says because of this denial, they may even be forced to request an even larger rate hike now. Only 2 weeks after the Reverend Jesse Jackson called off a boycott of Major League Baseball, the civil rights leader is again upset at baseball management, this time because of the selection of a new manager for the Cleveland Indians.
That bullpen coach Doc Edwards was the only man the Cleveland front office looked at has created the problem tonight.
It was not bad that the black or Hispanic was not chosen. It was a sin neither black nor Hispanic was considered.
I truly believe that they may not have some of the necessities.
It was that remark in April of Al Campanis that began this controversy.
The truth is that baseball and football have not been honorable in their quest for affirmative action.
Within days, Reverend Jackson had begun a campaign to put more minorities in sports management.
To have patience.
In June, the campaign was intensified when the Phillies